a lot. For the time being, it looks like a freshman senator from Kentucky has stopped a bill to give D.C. autonomy over its budget dead in its track. Rand Paul has tried to offer a series of amendments that would ban the use of city funds on abortions, relax the city's gun laws. What do you think is the best strategy for the city from this point forward, and what conversations, if any, have you had with Senator Paul?
Oh, I called him immediately. I have not had my call returned. I've called him more than once, particularly since Rand Paul is the Tea Party leader of the Senate. This flies in the face of all the Tea Party is supposed to stand for. They don't want the federal government in the federal government's business, much less if you're a federalist getting the big foot of the federal government in a local government's business. What he wanted to do was very radical. He wanted to make the ban, the abortion ban, permanent. That's never been permanent. It has to be put in every year. He wanted concealed carry in the District of Columbia, including reciprocity. If you had a concealed carry, I don't know, in the Wild West, you could come here and bring your gun.
I searched his proposal. There was no provision to allow this concealed carry on the halls of Congress. You should have put that amendment in. That would have helped him out.
I think, I went on the floor, took out what we call a special order half hour, said, I want to give Rand Paul the benefit of the doubt until I can sit down and talk with him, because I cannot believe that a Tea Party leader would so fly in the face of his own principles, which is the government ought to keep out of your affairs. Now, you mentioned budget autonomy. Mm-hmm. Here we had a bill that was historically going to move through committee in the Senate. A great deal of work had been done. We were prepared to draw it back if there were amendments we couldn't live with. We didn't expect these amendments, plus amendments on the right to work. I mean, it's as if Rand Paul went down and said, what can I think of? And his justification tells me he has not educated himself about this city. He just sees us as props, we who live here, and therefore he can do anything he wants to. The notion of democracy doesn't cross his mind if he comes out and wants to reverse law after law after law. So I want the opportunity, before I really go at him, to sit down, to sit down with him, because this bill.
What if he never returns your phone calls? Are you going to show up at his office and kind of just sit there?
I'm going to call and ask for an appointment. I understand what the context here. We are making remarkable progress on budget autonomy. We have got Darrell Issa, the chairman of the committee with jurisdiction over the district, essentially with a bill that is almost like my own. We have the majority leader of the House, Eric Cantor, coming out for budget autonomy for the District of Columbia. The governor of Virginia has come out for budget autonomy for the District of Columbia, and the Senate had a bipartisan sponsorship. Senator Collins, Senator Lieberman, and they were set to go. We are so encouraged, frankly, by the Republican support we've received, and of all places, the House, that we are, as they say in the street, no ways discouraged. There's more than one way to skin a cat.